Hi everyone, we still have a couple minutes here, so I'm just gonna putter around and get some things ready. So as you join in, and then we'll get started right at 3 o'clock. We're live, by the way. Oh. Hey Marta, how are you? We're getting started in just a minute here. It's almost 3 o'clock. Let's give everyone a chance to catch up to us. Just sit here and stare at everyone. You ready, Mom?
Yes. Can I just blow my nose?
I suppose so. There you go. Hi, Bill. Just waiting for my mother to get herself organized here, and then we can get going. How did everyone like the coconut macaroons? Bill, did you make them? Still a one-way conversation.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to flip it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Janet. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
I'm never sure. Okay, so today we're making a blueberry crumble pie. So this is going to be a bit of a process. So we're going to do our mise en place for our crust first. We'll make our crust, and then our crust has to go into the freezer to chill. And then while that's chilling, we're going to make our crumble filling. We'll take our crust out, roll it out, put it in our pie shell, and then that has to chill. While that is chilling for the second time, we will make our blueberry filling. All right, let's get started. So I have my bowl here, and we'll get our crust ingredients in there. So we're going to need 1 1/4 cups of flour and 1/2 teaspoon of salt going into here. Now, if you had a food processor, you could do this in a food processor. Our food processor broke, so we don't have that. So I'll be doing it all by hand today. Lucky you. And then today I'm using my Anita's flour. This is an organic flour that I really like to use. I find for pastry, it does make a really nice pastry. Or if I'm making eclairs or cream puffs, this just has a little bit of extra gluten in it. And the gluten just kind of helps with the structure and the crispiness. So I'm going to use my Anita's today. But if you had, regular all-purpose flour, like Robin Hood is really good as well. So I'm going to measure out my 1/4 cup here. It's like we're sponsored by people. That's what we should do, Mom. We should get some sponsors.
Ooh.
I know.
Like who?
I don't know. Flower people. Flower people, have your people, call my people. I guess you're my people, Mom.
I guess I'm your people.
Lucky you.
Okay, so Janice is watching from Toronto. We've got Bill and Drawha from Kingston. We've got Ann Wright, Janice from Vernon, and her sister from Columbia.
Yes. really awkward because it's got like a flap, so I'm just gonna try to not make too much of a mess as I throw it back in there. Hey, I didn't do too bad. Okay, so I have my 1 1/4 cup of flour in my bowl. I'm going to add in my salt. So we need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So of course I have my official Blue Jays Tupperware.
Yay, Jays. Go, Jays, go.
I don't know when the season's gonna start.
I know.
So I have that in there, and then I'm just gonna use my hand that's clean, and I'm just going to kind of mix it all together here. All right, so that is my dry ingredients for the crust. Next thing I'm gonna do is get out my butter. So you'll notice that this morning I didn't tell you to take out your butter because you want your butter to be cold. So I need 1/2 a stick of butter. Should really sort of So I have my 1/2 stick of butter, or my 1/2 cup, 1 stick of butter. Don't know what I'm talking about. There we go.
Martha Stewart would have everything ready.
Martha Stewart has assistants. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Wow, I can either film or assist.
Wow.
We should get Grant down here.
Wow. So my 1 stick of butter, I'm just gonna go ahead and open it. And this we're just gonna chop into little tiny pieces so we can cut that into our dry ingredients. If you have your food processor, you still wanna chop this because you don't want big chunks of butter. We're trying to create flakes. So by chopping it into little pieces, that's when you get the flakes. So I'm just going right down the center. I like to cut my little stick into 4s. And then I'm just gonna cut them up. And this again is just fresh from the fridge. Get all that goodness. All right, so our butter we're going to put into our bowl. So I'm gonna just make a little hole. And I'm gonna put my butter into the little hole. Make sure it all goes in there. There we go. And then we're gonna cut the butter into our flour. So there's a couple ways to do that. There's the food processor. So if you are using that method, you're just gonna pulse until it looks like peas. There's a pastry blender, which is like this guy that I'm gonna use, and you kind of just push down and make a rocking motion as you're cutting in your butter. Sorry, the dogs are beside us. As you're cutting in your butter, you kind of just make a rocking motion. If you don't have anything like that, you can use 2 knives and just keep cutting opposite directions to cut your butter into your flour. So I'm going to use my pastry blender here, and I'm just going to cut that in. It's going to be a little bit hard because obviously your butter is hard, but just keep working it. And when it comes up on there, just use your hand and just kind of push it down. Don't be shy. And I'm kind of turning my bowl as I'm doing this just so I can get it all evenly in there. It's a rocking motion as I turn my bowl, and I'm just cutting in my fat. I mean, I know some people also used to like Crisco for pastry. If you want to adopt this recipe and use half Crisco, half butter, you can. I like the all butter because I like the flavor, but whatever works for you. So we're almost there. This one's got big holes.
We had that little mini one that we used for Bobby, remember?
Oh, the little food chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's not very much. It's okay. Just makes me get my arm work out. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. Let's try to get all this out of my little holes here. got holes. So you can see it's quite crumbly, and you can see the big pieces of fat, which is exactly what you want. See, big piece of fat. Yeah, that will give you all your flakes. So now to this, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons
You're gonna wash your hands.
of really cold water, and I'm also gonna wash my hands. Thank you, Mother. So I'm gonna take a 1 cup over with me to the sink, and then I'm gonna fill it up, rinse my hands with really cold water. This is where intermission music can come in, Mom.
Yes, I'll get on that.
Yes, please do. I want to sing dance number, like Lucille Ball or something. So I'm just making sure my water is really cold. I'm just running my tap a little bit. Okay, so there's my water. So obviously I'm not gonna add all of that. I'm gonna start off with just 3 tablespoons. So I'm just gonna drizzle it in. Just like that. And then I'm just gonna grab a fork, Mom. And then I'm just gonna use a fork to just kind of blend it all together.
And Erin Lynn just tuned in.
Oh, Erin. So I'm just using my fork, mixing it all together. So I might need a little bit more water in there. So I'm just gonna add a teaspoon. So I'm up to 3 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon. I might even need 1 more teaspoon.
How do you know?
So to check it, you're just gonna squeeze it together. If it holds together, you're good. If it doesn't hold together, like mine is doing, I need a little bit more water in there. I'm actually gonna be really bold and add 2 more teaspoons. I know, Mom, it's shocking.
So that's 3 tablespoons now.
So 3 tablespoons and 4 tablespoons altogether.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm just kind of getting my hands in there. That's starting to hold together nicely. So I'm gonna dump this out onto my clean countertop here. Dump the whole thing out. Nobody ever said baking was neat, right, Mom?
Exactly.
And then all you do is you take your mixture and then you just kind of push it together with your hands and then turn it and then push it. And I can see I might need a little bit more water in here, but I'm gonna see if this will come together for me. Because the name of the game is not to make it super wet, because you want to preserve the flakes. Actually, this may do. Just try to get all my little pieces in there. So just keep squishing it together with your fingers and your hands and kind of turning it over. We're not kneading it, we're just pushing it together. Perfect, that looks good. So we're almost there. Put all my little pieces together here. And I have no extra flour or anything like that on my countertop. All right. So this is my pie dough. You can see it's really kind of flaky. Can you see those flakes? That is some good flake right there. That's exactly what you want. It's not overworked, it's just coming together perfectly. So this, we're gonna now put in saran wrap and put it in the freezer to chill. Why, thank you, assistant.
Now, why do you chill the dough?
You chill the dough because you want the gluten in the flour to relax. And we also want our fat to harden again and solidify. This prevents shrinkage. Like pie shell shrinkage. Be specific. It's always a battle with the saran wrap. So we are going to be making a disc because we're going to be rolling this out into a disc. So, you know, we might as well start now while it's, you know, kind of soft. So I'm just using the heel of my hand and I'm just pushing it down till it's nice and thin and disc-like.
Disky.
Disky. Discus-like. So there we go. Just like that, like that, like that. Done. So this is going to go into the freezer and we'll see that in a little bit. Alright, just going to tidy this area up here, give everyone a chance to catch up with us. Alright, how's everybody doing? Is everybody with us?
Wipe it down.
Just gonna wipe down the counter here. Resist the urge to overwork your dough. You don't want to be kneading it. You don't really want to be working it too much. If you work it too much, it's going to get tough and you're not going to get those flaky layers. So you kind of just work it as minimally as you can to get the results that you need.
We should make one of the old-fashioned apple strudels once.
Oh my God, no. The request counter has been closed. For now, anyway. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is make our streusel topping. So, or crumble topping, I should say. So to do that, we're just going to put in a little bowl here. We're going to put all of our ingredients. So we need 2/3 a cup of sugar. Sorry, that's a filling. Sorry, 3 tablespoons of white sugar, 3/4 cup of flour, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 5 tablespoons of butter melted. So, let's start with our sugar. My big baby of sugar. So, 3 tablespoons of white sugar. Tablespoons of brown sugar. I have golden yellow sugar because we couldn't find dark brown sugar, so this will be good. Slim pickings out there, people. And then with brown sugar, of course, you want to like pack it in your spoon. So when you tip it out, you want to have the shape of, in this case, a spoon. That's when you know you packed it right. If it doesn't look like that when you flip it out, you didn't pack it enough. Or if you're using a measuring cup, you want the shape of the cup. So when they say tablespoons packed or cups packed, that's what they mean. Ta-da! So 3 tablespoons of that. And then we need 3/4 cup of flour. Oh, I'm not even everything so far. So that is 3 1/4 cup measures of flour.
We have a 3/4 cup.
I know, but I don't think everyone has a 3/4 cup. I'm trying to be helpful.
Or you could have had 1/2 and 1/4.
No, that's too much.
No,
Yes.
Lisa. 1/2 and 1/4 is 3/4.
Or we could have just done the way I did it.
Oh, whatever. Okay.
Okay,
And we say
so-
hi to Dougal Dutch.
Oh, yes. He's in Vancouver, Scotland.
Oh,
He is right Okay, so we have our flour in here. We have both of our sugars. I'm gonna add some cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. If you really like cinnamon, you know, feel free to add a little bit more. So I'm just gonna I like cinnamon, so I'm gonna overheat mine a little bit, like a lot. Throw it. So I like that flavor. Okay, and then we also need some salt in here. So 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that goes. And then we're just gonna mix this together. I'm just gonna use my fork here again. And if you wanted to add some, you know, rolled oats or anything like that to this, you can.
He's in Vancouver.
Oh, he's in Vancouver, okay. Just kind of breaking everything up. I love the smell of the cinnamon, don't you, Mom?
Pardon me?
I love the smell of the cinnamon.
Yes.
Reminds me of mini donuts.
You should have used our cinnamon bark.
I should use our cinnamon bark. Let's just break out the bark, shall we? Really scare people. All right, the next thing we need is 5 tablespoons of butter melted. Can you please pass me a cup, Mother?
Oh, you mean you weren't ready for it?
Snap.
All right.
Some fighting words right there. Thank you. This is where I really like sticks of butter because I know a stick of butter is 2, 4, 6, 8 tablespoons. So I know if I lop this off there, I got 6 tablespoons and I don't have to like worry about it. So I'm just lopping him off.
Off with your heads.
Like, pretty much, right? It's kind of brutal. I can't get the foil off.
Oh, Janice, my IKEA order has been rescheduled today from 1 to 4. It is now 3:20, so we're counting down.
She's very upset. Just fighting with all my little bits of foil here. Guess they were making butter so fast. Almost there. There we go. Nobody wants foil in their crumble, right? All right. So I'm just gonna cut him up so I can put him in the cup and melt him.
Yes, Jan, I called and it's rescheduled for today. Well, I just did track my order.
I tried to explain to her they're probably really busy. All right, so there goes my butter. I'm gonna put it in the micro for 30 seconds.
And we say hi to Sandy.
Ooh, Sandy. Glad that she's taking time out from her wine time to bake.
Ooh, I think that was a cheap shot, Sandy.
Sandy knows it. That didn't really do much. I'm gonna go a little longer.
I know, we need to get a new microwave.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
It's ancient.
Well, just a little. It is.
So are you putting some oats in there or not?
Yeah. I like oats. I'll go fetch the oats. So I'm just gonna put in quarter cup of oats as per my mother's request.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mother. Free of charge. Stir that around for you. Let's see what this looks like now. Okay, we're getting there. Microwave's terrible.
It's on my list.
I know. your butter to be steaming hot, you want it to be a little slightly cooled because you don't want to gellify your flour. You're just trying to make it crumble. So my butter has melted. Let's see what it's at. Oh, it's actually good. I had big chunks, so I just stir it. It's actually pretty cool. I'm just gonna dump it all in. And then I'm just gonna use my fork and stir it all together. And I'm gonna stop there. And this is the fun part. I'm gonna get my hands in there and just kind of mix it all together and break it up with my hands. So I'm kind of like pushing it through my hands and kind of like breaking it up a little bit.
I can see the boys doing this part, Draha. They would love it. And say hi to Dorothy.
Oh, Dorothy. All right, so that looks pretty good for my crumble. I'm just gonna leave this on the counter while we make our, while we roll our dough and make our filling. So it's gonna go over here. And again, I'm just gonna wash my hands off. Again, Mom, we need entertainment music during this time when I'm
Well,
not there.
maybe that's what Grant should be doing. Get us a little tape.
I don't think you'd want to see him do that.
Now, if the Jays were on, we could sort of watch a couple innings, maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Dorothy says it already looks delicious.
Oh, thanks, Dorothy. And we're just gonna wipe down our counter again. So I'll tell you guys a secret. I absolutely hate making pastry. I never make pastry shell really, ever. I usually buy the tender flakes. I know, it's shocking.
Oh my gosh,
I know,
Lisa.
it's
Are you
shocking.
really my daughter?
I know, it's
Are you
shocking.
Bobby's granddaughter?
It's shocking. I know, it's shocking.
Oh my
I had
goodness.
to make, one of my best friends, she got married a couple years ago, and I had to make mini pies for her wedding. I think I needed to make like, it was so ridiculous, like 250 mini pies. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? I'm like, you're lucky I love you so much because, like, no. So I just bought a whole bunch of tender flake and I cut it all out. And I was just like going crazy making all these little mini pies. They turned out really good though. I'll have to put some pictures on our page.
What did you fill them with?
I think some of them was blueberry, some were apple, and I think some were cherry. I can't remember. It was a few years ago.
Ooh, cherry would be good. Sour cherry.
I don't think it was sour. I don't remember what it was. Okay, so I just took my pie dough out of the freezer. It's, you know, hard.
A little
which is great.
pancake.
Little pancake. So I'm just gonna get on my counter. So there's a couple ways to roll out your pie dough. I don't like to put the flour on the counter and put my thing there and it makes a mess. I like to use either parchment paper, saran wrap, or wax paper. So I'm gonna use parchment paper just because it's the widest roll that I have. Because this is my pie plate.
Oh, that's a deep dish.
It's a deep dish. Get a lot of goodness in there, Mom. So this is kind of wide, so I figured like, you know, kind of matches. Whereas if I had my saran wrap, it doesn't really give me much of a buffer zone. So.
What about wax paper?
My wax paper is the same kind of width. So
Okay.
anyways, I chose my parchment paper.
All right, fine. You're making it.
You're so judgmental. I feel judged. So we need one for the bottom. We're basically making a sandwich. So you're gonna put this in the bottom, this in the middle, and then another piece on top. And then what I kind of like to do is sort of give myself a rough idea of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but if you turn it upside down, it's better, right?
I know, but you also have the lip, Mama.
Sorry, I guess I shouldn't be.
So Mom is right. If your pie shell was a little bit narrower and you just wanted to like measure out and draw a circle, you can. I like to kind of put one like this and tilt it, and then just kind of draw.
Well, that's the
around.
same thing as the other way.
Yeah, but I'm also getting the lip. You're so judgmental. My
Okay,
God.
well, we'll measure it afterwards.
Is this the Lisa show or the Mom show?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to hold the camera yourself?
Maybe I should.
Oh, there you go. Boy, that's really even.
Hey, it's a
Okay,
rough circle.
now flip it.
See if I flip it. Oh, look at that. It's still too small. Oh.
Nothing like a know-it-all daughter.
So much love. Okay, so obviously I have my pencil on this side, so I'm going to flip my paper.
But you can't even see it.
Those of us with glasses and better vision can see it. So my pencil line is obviously on the bottom now, so I can put my pie dough. Just so everybody knows, I tried to tell her she can make the pie dough because she's like, oh, your pie dough, it's not even Crisco. But she didn't want to.
Oh, I've always made mine with Crisco.
Well,
It's turned
then
out
you could've
fine.
made it with Crisco. All right, so another piece on top, like that. Ta-da! So I can see my lines around here, which is
I
perfect.
can't.
I can, which
All
is
right.
the most important thing because I'm baking. I'm going to use my rolling pin. So I have this kind of style of rolling pin. It's kind of, it's wooden, moves in the center. Some people have just the straight rolling pin, the French rolling pins. Those are really nice too. If you don't have a rolling pin, you can use like a wine bottle. You can use a soda pop bottle. Something round, cylinder with a little bit of weight would be perfect. So to roll out my pie dough, I'm going to work from the middle and work my way out. So I'm pushing a little bit. I'm going to turn it. And I'm going to push it. This is the part I hate the most, I won't lie. And then I'm just keeping it in motion. Because you kind of want to keep it round. So I am putting quite a bit of pressure down just because, your pie dough is kind of cold. Both ways now. Turning. Is this how you do yours, Mom?
Oh, exactly.
Right. I feel the love from you.
We have that red plastic form somewhere too about a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know. All the gadgets
Never used
we
it.
have.
I know.
So keep going around in a circle. Keep rolling. Now I'm starting to get a little split in there, but I'm not really going to worry about that right now. I'm just trying to get out to my proper size here. This is seriously the part I hate the most. My friend and I made gingerbread cookies and sugar cookies at Christmas time. I made her do all the rolling out. I was just like, you can do it. It's all good. Getting there. Does that look okay for you, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
It's your pie crust.
I feel the love. Woo. We're getting there. We do one of those like sheeters, you can just like throw it through and it just like whoosh. So while I'm also doing this, I'm kind of rubbing my hand around just to make sure it's all even. So I'm doing pretty good so far.
Except for that one corner.
What one corner?
This one.
What's wrong with him? Yeah, he's split. But he's still even. He may be split, but he's even. She's so judgmental. Oh my God. Almost there. Thank God. Just gonna try to roll him a bit this way. Yeah, okay, I hate doing this.
Well, what I do is I always put a few drops of water on the bottom, and that holds the paper in place. But I don't turn the paper. I just
You
keep
just roll
rolling
one
up.
direction?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of, if I have to hold it, I tuck the paper and just kind of put my belly on it.
And thank you, Janice. I'll remember you for that. She said to Lisa, it's so hard to get good help. Well, we know
Thank you.
it's
It is, especially one that doesn't have commentary every 2 seconds.
well, don't forget this is also free. Start charging you. Where's Katie with what union I need to join?
Maybe it's ACTRA or something like that. It's called Wino. Yeah, I thought that was good too, Mom. Good thing Zach's not listening. He's gonna be so embarrassed by us.
Oh, he's busy with baby Max.
I know. Okay, so let me see how I'm doing here. I'm almost there. I'm close.
Let's see what's underneath there. Ooh.
Looks very pie-y. Let me just see what happens if I put it in. Almost there. Not quite, almost. It's like the hardest part is rolling it out. Now everyone can see why I buy Tenderflake. True story. Right there.
Well, if you're going to do a pie, might as well do it from scratch.
Sure. And this is kind of nice because this is not a double pie. This is like a single crust pie. Which is nice. Hold them. Go one direction here. There's Paul Hollywood when you need him. He's rolling out.
Yes, I'll put a call into Paul Hollywood.
I know. Like
Or Mary Berry.
I don't think Mary Berry rolls out her pie crust. I think she has assistants for that. Speaking of which.
Well, don't look at me.
Speaking of which. Could you use assistants? We're almost there. Feel pretty steady to me. Let me check it again. God, I hope this is it. I think it might be good. I think we're good. Ta-da! The pie dough, she's ready. Alright, so now this is really easy to just flip into here. I'm kind of scared actually. Here we go.
Well, it stays until you peel it off, right?
Here we go. So you just kind of make sure you have the middle. You just kind of edge it in. And peel back your parchment paper. It's like the most unnerving part. So if you had done this with just a flour countertop, a lot of people roll it over their rolling pin and then like, you know, make it look pretty. I can't do that, so I just do it this way. Not that fancy. Can you do that one?
No comment.
You can? Okay.
What's that?
Put it on the rolling pin and then
No, I do it this way.
you do it this way.
I could never do that.
Rolling pin, yeah. I don't know. Julia Childs, eat your heart out, you know?
But it seems to be easier with the wax paper, but idea is the same.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, so then now we're just kind of easing him into the corners.
Him?
It's got a name, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of using the pad of my finger to just push him into the edges here. And kind of just pushing that up. Easing him in there. Easing him into the pie shell. There he is. And then I'm just going to use my finger and just kind of push him up the edge here. A little short right there, but that's okay. We're going to fix that. So if you see any like thin areas, just kind of like grab some extra pie dough and just like fill it in. Like right there for me was kind of thin. Just want to make that nice and tall. There you go, that's better. Perfect. All right, so now our pie dough is in the shell. So there's a couple options to finish it up. You can just cut it and leave it like this. You can use a fork and push the tines. See, assistance, hello. And push the tines around the side.
Question.
Yes,
I'm unionized, so I get a coffee break now.
there you go.
15 minutes.
There you go. So you can use the tines. If you want pie, you do not. You can
Hi,
use the
Caitlin.
tines to push down to make a little pattern on your pie. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my pie, and then I'm going to use my fingers to kind of flute it, and I'll show you how to do that. But first, I want to get rid of all this excess edge. I've seen some weird things where they leave this on when they bake it. I don't know. So I'm just going to take it off. So I'm kind of just using a knife and just pushing it against the side here to cut off my excess pastry dough. So you kind of just take it and just kind of swipe it. Applying a little bit of pressure.
Oh, Grant Mitchell is watching.
Oh good, he can
This is
bake
going to
for
be
me.
your dessert, Grant.
He can bake for me.
Maybe make you a pie for your anniversary.
I like to see Grant make a pie actually. I would pay good money to see that. Alright, so there we go. My pie shell is nice and clean now. And now I'm just going to go and I'm going to flute it. So I'm just going to gently lift it up with my nail and just kind of push it. And lift it and push it. My flute is really small today. There we go. So I'm kind of just using my one finger and my two fingers like a pincher and just kind of pushing it. This pie shell is a little bit awkward because he's deep dish. This would normally be on like the side of your pie shell, but I like a deep pie, so I chose this one. This is a little broken, but that's okay. He'll repair himself. He's a little awkward to do, but that's okay. The flute looks really nice. I'm just kind of lifting and pushing.
Looks very nice.
I know it does, see? After all your criticism.
It's not criticism, it's comments.
The complaint department is closed. Madam.
Would you like to hold the camera yourself?
People might prefer it.
See you doing that with holding the camera.
Yeah, that'd have to be in my pocket. I'm sticking a little bit to the casing, but that's okay. Lift that up a little bit.
Somebody's meowing.
No, that was the kid next to her.
How was it?
Yeah. You have terrible hearing. I think we need to get your hearing checked after this.
Pardon me?
Okay, so I fluted all the way around my pie shell. Ta-da! There's only one little area where I just want to repair my flute because it ripped. That's okay. At least with baking, you can always fix things. So I have a little bit of pie dough left over. Just gonna, oh, where'd he go now? Oh, here he is. Just gonna make him a little friend, a little repair. There we go. Ta-da! All right, so I'm gonna put him back in the freezer to chill while we're making our blueberry filling.
He's gonna chill out, is he?
He's gonna chill like a villain. Like a chillin'. Just gonna tidy this up. And also, while he's in the freezer, we're going to set our oven because we're going to bake our pie crust blind, which means there's no filling in it. And then we're going to put our filling in and then bake it again. So I can't remember what the temperature is supposed to be, so I'm just going to find my recipe over here.
This would never happen to Martha Stewart.
Again, Martha has people. I have no people.
What am I, a ham sandwich?
Yes, you are a ham sandwich.
I'm the cameraman.
Oh my gosh. Camera pain in the butt, Mike.
Oh, Lisa.
Okay, so 375 degrees on our oven. And now we're going to make our blueberry.
Oh, you should put the
filling.
rack down because I raised the rack up.
Did. Ooh.
Boy, some daughters are obnoxious.
Parents should honor their children. Okay, so in here we're going to put our blueberries. We got to put sugar in here, cornstarch, lemon zest, and lemon juice. So let's get our blueberries first. Open it. Now, blueberries. So I was pretty fortunate enough yesterday to get some local blueberries. These ones were frozen from last summer at Kraus Berry Farm. It's a local berry farm out in Langley. So I was pretty lucky to stumble upon some of those yesterday. So this is what I'm going to be using.
And we have Salvo James watching.
There we go. So we need 5 cups of frozen blueberries. Martha's people forgot to throw away the water that was in there. Just saying. So we're just gonna measure out. They're stuck to the thing that was frozen. Mine are all stuck inside because I didn't want it in there. Someone didn't throw it away. That's 2.
I think your contract with Crow Lake
3.
Studios is up today.
4. And 5. All right, so 5 cups of frozen blueberries in. I'm gonna add to
You
that.
should put that back in the freezer.
So I'm going to add to this 2/3 of a cup of sugar. So I have a 2/3 measure. If you don't, it's just 2 of the 1/3 cups. We're going to need our 2.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. So I have Fleischmann's here, Fleischmann's. So the cornstarch is our thickener in our filling. And, ooh, it's half a tablespoon.
Oh, did you mess up?
No, I said 2.5 tablespoons, but I don't have a half a tablespoon.
Oh my, yes you do, and the white ones
That's
there.
okay. So half a tablespoon would be 1.5 teaspoons.
Very good, Lisa.
You didn't even know that. What are you talking
Of
about?
course I did.
Don't you be patronizing. So 2 tablespoons and then 1 teaspoon and a half a teaspoon in. Next we need our lemon juice. I personally really like lemon juice with blueberry pie. I think it adds a little bit of a fresh element to it. So I have my lemons here. So I'm going to zest, what does my directions say here? 1 teaspoon of finely grated zest. So I'm gonna zest 1 lemon and then I'm gonna squeeze probably about half of the lemon for my lemon juice. I won't need to. So I have my little zester, very zesty.
So we don't measure it, you just zest it right in?
I'm just gonna zest it right in. Ooh, he's very thin-skinned. He's a quality lemon today, Mom.
Ooh.
I like a lot of lemon, so I'm not really gonna worry too much about, you know, measuring it. If you don't like the lemon, you can leave it out, but I think the lemon just adds a little bit of brightness to it. Gordon Ramsay, your heart out. Right?
Over zesting a lemon?
Yeah, hello. Gordon Ramsay talks a lot about zesting lemons.
Oh, hi, Katie.
Make sure you get the bottom of the lemon. And just like before, you're avoiding the pith, the white.
Katie says yum.
See, Katie likes zesting lemons. It's a very fine art, Mom. All right, so there is my lemon zested. And then I'm just going to cut him. I'm just using the same knife as I did the butter on. And I'm going to juice him. So I'm actually just going to do this in another bowl because I don't want to get the little seeds in there. I mean, as much as we like crunching on seeds, you know, it's just not cute. So to juice again, we just use the fork, shove it in, twist the fork as we're twisting and pushing the lemon.
We have a juicer, you know.
I know, but why would I bring out the juicer when I'm just doing 1 lemon and this is so fast? So that looks pretty good to me, and actually there was no seeds, so I'm good on that. So that goes in. And then I'm going to use my fork, and I'm going to stir it all together. So while these berries come to room temperature, they're going to release some juice. So we're going to come back and stir this a couple times while they're defrosting, just to get all the juice and everything going on. But for now, I am pretty satisfied with that. Ta-da! That's our filling. Are you happy with that, Mother?
Yes, looks perfect.
Good. I'm just going to put that in there and put that to the side with our crumble. So now we're just waiting for our oven to preheat. We still have like 6 minutes left on the oven. So that's fine. The more we leave our pie dough to chill, the better. So we'll just move everything out of the way. So again, Mom, we need intermission music.
Yes, I'll get Lawrence Welk on it right away.
Yes. I was thinking more like Lady Gaga or Julio. You know, one of those people.
Julio.
Julio.
Or we should get some Spanish music going.
Yes. You could definitely do that for sure. Does anybody have any questions about anything so far that they saw?
Katie, how are the boys doing? Wes and Will. Raw sugar? I don't think so.
No, that's okay. So I have a little bit of pie dough left over. If you wanted to, you could roll this out, cut it into a shape, and put it on top of your pie if you want. I don't really want to, so I'm just gonna throw it away. You can also put, like on your shapes, you can put a little bit of egg white, beaten egg white, and then you can sprinkle on some coarse sugar, so like the raw plantain sugar, the brown sugar, and that would kind of give it a really nice caramel, crunchy taste.
I think we should make that into something.
Fine. What do you want it to be?
I don't know. What
You're the mastermind here.
cookie cutout do you have?
Well, what's below you?
Well, I can't put my camera down.
Can't put my camera down. All I'm hearing is excuses. Let's see what we got. I have a gingerbread man. I have a heart.
Oh, not a heart. It's not Valentine's. All the other ones are somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do a heart.
We're doing a heart. Oh, wait,
All
a
right.
pineapple. Let's do a pineapple.
A pineapple.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cute idea.
Pretty sure I have a pineapple. Aha! Here it is. Shauna gave it to me, a wedding planner. Bye, pineapple. So I'm just gonna cut them out. There's my pineapple. Because pineapple have little thingies on them, I'm just gonna put little dents in him.
Okay.
So he looks like an authentic pineapple, not a fake pineapple like those other pineapples, you know?
Salvo was saying he's going to catch up on this video in the morning. He's leaving us.
Good night, Salvatore. He lives in London, so yeah, probably pretty late for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Went to acting school with him. Okay, so that's my little pineapple friend there.
That's cute.
I know, he's adorable.
And Bill Max is absolutely wonderful. I mean, what can you say, right? So cute, so tiny. This is my new grandson that was born a week ago Friday. So he's 1 week and 2 days old.
So I don't have any brown sugar, but I have some white sanding sugar, so I'm gonna put that on there.
You don't have to put anything on there.
Well, or else he won't be crunchy. And I have a little bit of carton egg white. I don't know how to tell you this, Mom, but you're in the way again. Jeez. Good help is so hard to find.
I don't think we have a flamingo, Janice. We'll have to look for one.
No, I don't have a flamingo. So here, I'm just gonna get them ready on a little sheet here. Just pull them off the counter. Come on, little guy. There he is. Has nothing to do with our pie, but
Can you
there
get
he is.
a bigger brush?
Well, that's all we have. So I just beat my egg white a little bit, and then I'm using our giant pastry brush because that's all we have, and I'm just gonna dab them on there. If you don't have a pastry brush, you can just
Use your finger.
use your finger, or you can use a spoon. So use that, and then we're gonna put a little bit of sugar on him. Maybe I'll just put it on the fronds. That'd be kind of cute, eh?
Yeah.
I know, he's a bougie pineapple.
A who?
A bougie pineapple.
What's a bougie?
He's fancy. So then we're just gonna put some clear standing sugar, that's what I have right now, on his little fronds there. There we go.
That is so cute.
I know, isn't
That
he
way don't
adorable?
have green.
Yeah, I don't think I have green standing sugar. Alright, so I'm gonna put him in the fridge while he's chilling there. Just gonna check on our pie crust here. So our pie dough feels pretty cold. So he is good to go on to phase 2. So now we're going to bake him. It's very traumatizing for him.
Who?
The pie dough. So to bake them, I put a little bit of saran wrap in there. Yes, we're putting saran wrap in the oven, and yes, it's okay. It's not gonna melt.
I never heard of that before.
A la Paul Hollywood, hello.
Really?
Yeah. Don't look at me like that.
Okay.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, so we're putting a little saran wrap in there. If you're really scared about the saran wrap, you can use wax paper. I just find the wax paper doesn't get into the little divots as well as the saran wrap. So I'm okay with this.
Okay.
Okay. I just don't like to have very much overhang with my saran wrap. I'm just gonna cut them. Well, that was good. Again, good help is so hard to find here. Okay, so put my saran wrap in there. And now here's the time for your beans that you bought. So I have black turtle beans that I bought.
Are you sure this isn't fish food?
These were the cheapest ones that I found at the store. So that's why I'm using them.
Organic turtle beans.
Why are you judging my beans? They're just weights.
Well, I've never heard of them before. What do you do with them? Oh, they're from Vernon. There you go, Janet.
I guess you
Vernon, BC.
I guess you cook with them. So anywho, so now that we're ready, I'm taking a fork. I'm gonna prick the bottom of my pie shell. All over the place. And then I'm gonna put him in. If I can, there we go. And now my turtle beans are gonna go in. Or if you have pie weights, you can use that.
We should get some pie weights.
We should get some pie weights. Maybe my assistant can find me some.
Well, not right now. Oh, I'll go on Amazon.
We're not sponsored by Amazon. So I'm just filling it up about, I'd say about half full of my turtle beans.
And why do we use weights?
We use the weights because you don't want the pie crust at the bottom to puff up. You want it to stay flat and compact. So we use the pie weights.
How do you want it to stay?
Flat and compact.
Okay.
Oh my God. So we use the pie weights to apply a little bit of, obviously, weight on the top, so that way it'll stay flat. Because if you didn't use the pie weights, the pie crust would poof, and then you'd have like a giant bubble, and like that's not cute on a pie.
Check.
Okay, so he's all done. He's gonna go into the oven now for 20 minutes, and this is called baking your pie crust blind. Because he has no filling. So he's in the oven now. We have 20 minutes now, Mom. What are you gonna do for 20 minutes?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Do we come back in 20 minutes?
We could, I suppose. So once 20 minutes is over, we're gonna check on him. We want him to be kind of golden brown on the pie bottom. You pull out your beans and make sure he's nice and golden brown. If he's not golden brown underneath, you're gonna bake him a little bit longer after you remove your beans. And then once he's kind of baked through, then we're gonna put our filling on there. We're gonna put our crumble on top, and we'll put our little pineapple on top of that. And then he goes back in the oven for 1 hour and a quarter. Yeah, it's a nice long bake. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Now that we have like 20 minutes to kill.
Well, why don't we come back in 20 minutes? Everybody can take a break.
Okay, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be back in 20 minutes. See you then.